Well, back here at Exeter, it's time to reflect on some of the best riding performances from the Paddy Power November meeting at Cheltenham that took place Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Casting his critical eye over the meeting, Daryl Jacob on my right. And Daryl, who comes in first?
I think we've got to have a Shawn Bowen, hasn't he, for his ride that he gave that weighed out on Friday. That was exceptional, and I just loved him the way that the horse didn't really get into any sort of rhythm with him. He was always behind the bridle, but Shawn's never panicked with him. Obviously, he won at Worcester the time beforehand, beating a very good horse of Jamie Snowden's. But I just loved the way he was always asking for more. But obviously, the pace was quite strong in that race as well. And even though the horses never really travelled, never really jumped, I just loved the fact that he was always squeezing, asking him for more without really fully committing for him. And then even coming down the hill, you could always see with Harry Cobden was slightly coming off the inside. Alex on James Owen's horse to his inside as well. They were sort of getting away from him. But again, he's never panicked. He's always knew that the horse would stay. He's always asking for a little bit more. And even he got in deep to the last, it still looked like as if he wasn't going to get there. But in the end, that's when he asked him for maximum effort. And that's when the horse dug deep. And that's when he got up.
So it's persistence, yes, but without doing so much that you don't have anything left for that final effort. How hard is that balance to strike for a jockey?
Well, look, it's when every time you ride a horse, I've always been, when I ride a horse, you always want to have, it's a bit like us. When I was riding horses, I always kind of relate to us. It's like as if we go and run a marathon. If I run the first half of the marathon a half a stride quicker than what I actually go, I'm going to end up getting tired towards the end of the race. And it's the same with kind of riding horses. If you go too quick, too early, you won't finish. But what Shawn has done is he's kept them in the sort of mid-80s, what I would call it, with the revs there, but not really there. So he's always having, the horse has always been sort of comfortable where he is, but he's always had enough and reserved enough to find more towards the end of the race. And that's what Shawn Bowen has been done time in and time out again. Even at, you seen him at Newbury last year, asking him for their effort, but not fully getting a whole lot of him early doors in the race, and always finding a little bit more.
People are comparing him to McCoy. Do you find their styles similar or comparable or not?
Well, they're different styles. Obviously, both of them rode short. AP had more of a sort of a flat back, whereas Shawn's like a little ball underneath him. AP had so much upper body strength. I mean, look, at both of them have got a lot of lower strength and upper body strength. But yeah, obviously Shawn's just a natural size, I suppose. AP was a bit taller, he was a little bit bigger chest, whereas Shawn Bowen is more compact. He's the perfect size to be a perfect jockey. And what he's doing is he's getting it all together now. And like you say, he's got the strength, he's got the tactical awareness, he's got the pace, and he's got good people around him.
All right, let's move on to your next ride of the meeting.
Brendan Powell, I thought, done very, very well. You know, he had three winners from 4 rides. Again, the horse that he won on the Friday, you know, he's been a jockey this year, has been for the last 2 Saturdays. He's had a big winner for Harry Durham at Ascot. He had a big winner last weekend as well at Wincanton as well. Again, both horses off 10 stone 2, off good low weights.
But it was on the 11-year-old Eldorado, Alan. You really liked that.
That was perfect. Again, a horse that obviously was coming in there slightly out of form, but again, just the way his tactical pace that he had under the conditions of the race. And what I loved about him is the way he kept playing with the horse's bit in his mouth, just keeping them interested, keeping them excited.
Just explain that for us a little bit.
Well, when horses get to that sort of age, he's an older horse, and when he gets to that sort of age, you know, they're not as, I'm not saying as a genuine, but they think a little bit more about it, and they can get harder rides. Their enthusiasm isn't quite the same. And what he's done is he's played with the horse, and he's cajoled the horse into the race. We're actually asking him for that the horse hasn't been in the race, if that makes sense. So the horse has only really known that he's been in the race for the last 3.5 furlongs, and that's when he's got the best out of him.
Now, Triple Trade, he's a horse that I think requires a real finesse ride.
Yeah.
A real finesse ride.
And this is the different side of it. So this was like Brendan on Eldorado Allen. That was more of a like cajole him into the race, feel like he's not in the race. But this horse was all about power, strength, you know, really asking him to go about his business. Look, I want you here, I want you to do this, I want you to jump, you will do it. and that's exactly what he done. He's got the very, very best out of him, and then Alexei then is a sort of a ride that's in between the two of them, whereas in the fact that he's been, you know, he was a little bit keen in his races. He's got him to relax mid-division, you know, really find the pace, find the rhythm, doing a real good gallop in that race, but he sat the horse where the horse was comfortable and never panicked, never moved, and just gradually flowed him into the race. And again, a bit like what we were saying about Shawn Bowen earlier on, you know, keeping that maximum effort for whenever you need him at the back of the last, and really get the best out of him from the back of the last, and that's what he's done. So 3 very, very different rides.
Okay,
but the
so
old one.
The versatility of Brendan Powell, the strength of Shawn Bowen, and the sympathy of Shawn Bowen. And you wanted to mention Harry Skelton on L'Eau de Sud in particular. Now, obviously, a reductive reading of this as well. The horse was just way the best on the day. So what was it about jockeyship that made any difference in the Shloer Chase?
Well, again, it's knowing what John Bunn can do and what John Bunn can't do, and it's the awareness of having all the horses that are in the race that are with you, and the fact that, you know, John Bunn Matata went out. He knew that John Bunn was going to go forward. Harry wanted to sit off that, but then the minute John Bunn started putting down a nick, or it wasn't quite giving them exuberant leaps that John Bunn can do, he's literally pounced on him. He's gone, right, you're starting to make a few mistakes. Your confidence
So this is homework and knowing your rival.
Exactly, yeah. And once John Bunn, we've all seen it before, when John Bunn starts making little mistakes, his confidence can go. And what Harry's done, he's pounced on it straight away. Right, okay, you've got into a couple of fences where Nico's asked you to be a little bit quicker, a little bit braver. You've missed them. Right, let's go, bang. And he went to the front. So what he done is he applied the pressure. Right, John Bunn, now you've got to come and get me. And that's what he's done. But then he's gone 2 good jumps then where he's made ground. John Bunn had to make ground. He didn't quite do it. So all of a sudden, Harry Skelton has stole a 5-length gap. And then he had the luxury then, right, sit, hold, and wait, and make John Bunn come to him rather than him go to John Bunn. So he kind of, to me, he kind of bullied John Bunn into making more mistakes than what John Bunn likes to do.
There we are. Harry Skelton, Brendan Powell and Shawn Bowen, the 3 jockeys who, for Daryl Jacob, shone at Cheltenham's November meeting.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.